Hello everyone, welcome back to English with Aisha Siddiqui. This video is for the second year general English students, and we have already done the introduction of the main topic. Also, I've done the introduction of semester 3 portion. So there is a video made on the portion of semester 3. You all can go back and see that if you all are interested to see the portion of semester 3 wherein which chapters are going to come for semester 3, what are the names of the chapter, of the authors, and what all is required to study for semester 3. Also, the book that I'm referring to is shown in that video. So please go watch that video and get yourself benefited. Okay, in this video, I'll just tell you all I have started the first chapter, that is phonetics and phonology, and I've already done the introduction part of phonetics and phonology. We'll be moving forward to how important it is, why we should learn it, why it is required in the field of communication and English language. So this is a book I'm referring to, Linguistics. It is for general English, and author of the books is the board of editors Ashok Chaskar Sanjay Pagare. So this book you all can take it online as well. You all can go and buy it on any bookstore, and we will be moving forward with the topic of phonetics and phonology. Stay tuned. I'm sharing my screen right now. Okay. So here I'll just take a quick recap of what all we did. For the ones who have not seen, you all can in detail go and watch that. This is the semester 3 portion. So we started with phonetics and phonology. Phonetics, I have explained the introduction part. What are the three main speech sound, scientifically sound used? Then branches of phonetics, articulatory, auditory, acoustic. What do they mean? Why are they required? Then also phonology is done. And now we are going to start with the study of phonetics and why it is important. A knowledge of phonetics is a must for a learner of English language. This knowledge enables her or him for what? For the next three things, of course. So we'll be reading what are the next three things. Why is phonetics so important when we are learning English language? To give a true description of sounds of English and how they are made. So first of all, phonetics is so important because you all must have heard phonics for very younger kids like nursery and all, and they do not learn it like ABCD, but they learn it as a b k d, and it is so much important like to teach students in that way because they get familiar with the sounds of letters and they do not have to memorize the spellings of the word, but with the sound of the word you can automatically know what is the spelling of the word without actually, you say that right, ratta, so you do not have to put that ratta for spellings when you are growing in a growing age. uh, so that is why phonetics is very important, and phonics for the younger kids, phonetics for the higher level kids, and therefore we are doing phonetics as you all are the higher level kids right now. So it gives a true description of the sound. So it shows the proper description of how the sound of that letter is spoken or how the word is actually pronounced. So to point the second one, to point out the mistakes in a learner's pronunciation and help them to learn the correct form. So phonetics is also required to know the correct pronunciation of the words. So sometimes some word are pronounced in a very wrong way and thinking that it's the right way, but it is not the right way. Many people have pronunciation problems, but they can be overcome by studying phonetics to differentiate sounds of English from those of your mother tongue. Now, often what happens when we are, like, suppose when we speak Marathi, for example, and we have little bit of the Marathi tone in our way of speaking, or for example, if we are speaking Hindi or Urdu, whatever. So we have that mother tongue in our language when we speak, and everyone will have. That's not a problem. That's a good thing. You should always keep your mother tongue with you. But that language should have that tone. English language should not have that tone. So sometimes it happens when we are speaking the English language, even over there we bring out our mother tongue, right? So we have to differentiate that this has come from our mother tongue and this is the English language, something else and something far from the mother tongue that we are speaking. So we need to differentiate the sounds over there. Let's move forward and see the difference of phonetics and phonology, because it sounds very similar, so people think it's just the same thing. So there is minute changes in it, I mean minute differences in both. So let's see what are the differences. Phonetics deals with production, transmission, and reception of all human speech sounds in general, with no particular reference to any language. What does it mean? I already told you all, right? Auditory, acoustic, and the other one that we've done. So these three are the parts, right? Let's go back and just revise it, as even I forgot while teaching you all. Okay, articulatory. So articulatory is the movement of lips. Auditory is when it comes to ear, and acoustic are the sound waves that goes to the ear. Yeah. So that is why phonetics means it deals with these three aspects: how the movement of the lips are happening while saying a word, then how it is transmitting the sound waves, and how the ear is actually hearing that sound. But it does not depend on some specific language such as English. So phonetics is not only required for English, it is done for any other language. If you're an expert of Marathi, or if you're an expert of Hindi language, phonetics is also required in that language. Or if you're um, expert of Urdu language, you will be knowing the sound of Urdu. It always mostly comes from the kh, right? So kh, any word that comes, khana, right? So Urdu, for example, you need that pronunciation, so you should know from which part of your body, from which part of your throat that h sound should come, right? Or if you're doing Marathi, it's r, right? So rad nar, r, that r should come. So these are the specifications of any language. So phonetics does not only imply for English language, but it implies for all the other languages such as Hindi, Marathi, or any other language such as English, Urdu, Basque, Russian, any language. Phonetics just means the pronunciation and the proper place of pronunciation from where it is coming. It does not depend on any one of the topic. So you all must have got understood that what it is, right? And we've got now what is phonetics. Let's go forward and see what is phonology. Phonology deals with the ways those sounds are organized in a particular language. Now, phonology is the deep study of any one language. Pick up any one, such as English, because we're doing English. So, phonology is the deep organization of that language, wherein we'll be studying the phonetics. So, you understood the difference? It's like a subject brief. Phonology is like a subject brief, and phonics is what topic you're going to learn in it. It is a subcategory of phonetics. Phonology is the subcategory of phonetics, because phonetics in large compiles for all languages, but phonology deals with any one language in different categories. So I hope you all understood what is the difference. Now let's see what is a phone. Everyone knows what's a phone, right? But not this phone. We are going to learn something vast. An individual sound of speech, an elementary sound unit. Now, everyone knows what is this phone, right? And everyone knows that this phone is so very important. We cannot be without our phones, right? Sleeping, getting up, after getting up, the first thing we want is our phone, right? Before sleeping, the last thing we want is our phone, right? So I know phone is very important, but why, from where has that name of phone has come? From where did it got introduced, this word phone, from where it has come? So it actually means sound of speech, because whenever we call someone, we are talking to someone. What is the basic thing required? The sound, right? If you cannot hear the person, the sound coming from the phone is of no use. So the phone is kept after the actual meaning, that means sound or of speech, the sound how it comes. An elementary sound unit, any unit that shows a proper sound system, is called phone. So this is how the phones are named as phones. Now let's see what is phoneme. The smallest unit in a language that distinguishes word meanings. Smallest sound unit. So pick up any language, any of the smallest unit, such as, let's pick up any word. For example, acoustic. Okay. Or for example, language. Right? We are learning language here. So let's pick up the example, the word of language. Now, in language, if we say it as language, I just missed out the language, the sound, right? I just missed out that, but it sounded so different. I did not say it as language, but I said it as language. So the ing word, I removed it. With that little small sound that I removed, the whole word has been changed. So you all got to know how the little word, I mean the little sound in a word, is also very important. So we are going to learn the break up, not the other breakup, but the breakup of language and sounds, how each word is required with each sound. And with those sounds, how a word actually is heard or spoken. This is known as phoneme, the smallest unit. Let's classify the English sounds now. Now, it's classified into two parts, the English sounds, that is consonants and vowels. We have done this in a very younger age, right? Vowels, that is A, E, I, O, U, and consonants. So there are in all how many letters in English? So everyone knows, don't keep counting, we will be going ahead. So consonants and vowels. Let's see what's consonants first. Consonant is a sound that is articulated with complete or partial closure of the air stream by constriction of speech organs. Consonants are a sound that is articulated. Articulated means how the movement of the lips or the organs are made. The movement. That means we are going to completely finish the word. We are not going to leave it. Such as if you see the vowels like A, E, I, O, U, you are not completing your word. A, then it's E, I, O, and U. You are not completely closing your word. But if you see it as B, it is closing. C, it is closing. D, your words are closing. I mean, your movements of the lips are closing. So that is how consonants are not vowels. The vowels are A, E, I, O, U. Leaving these five vowels, all the other letters are known as consonants. So all the other letters, if you keep on pronouncing it, you'll understand they are all complete or partial. Not if not completed, but they are partial closure of the airstream, right? So the airstream is getting closed and constructive of speech organs. Now let's see what are speech sounds. I have removed the vowels because I have already explained you all there are five vowels, right? You all know it already. So speech sounds. Sounds are not the same things as orthography. The IPA was created to represent actual speech sound. IPA was designed to consider groups of sounds such as voice or voiceless, place of articulation, manner of articulation, sounds changed based on speed context. Now, sometimes some words have to be very long, like, right? So if you want to say speech, right? Speech. So it goes each. It has the longer sound, right? If I say speech, that's not the right word, right? Speech is the longer one. So how long or how short you have to keep the sound of any word, it depends on that. That is the speed of the context. Sometimes how loud, how low, that's the rising tone and the falling tone of voice and voiceless. Then place of articulation means from which place you have to speak that word. manner of articulation, on how you are going to speak that word, from which organ and how. So we are going to do all this. And if we go through the book and we see, it's on page number 3. If you all are referring, we are going to see one by one all the organs of the book. I'm sorry, not the organs of the book, but all the organs from where we are going to learn the places of articulation and the manner of articulation. Yes. And if we did the consonants, so on page number 6 here, consonants are there and here vowels are there. So I'll just read out consonant that is starting from P. Everyone knows P is a consonant as it's not a vowel, right? So, yes. So, in suppose pet, pole, P. Everywhere you can see there's closure of the lip, maybe full closure or maybe partial closure. If you see B, B is also not a vowel, it's a consonant. So, boat, bell, bat, bark. Everywhere there's closure of the lips. T, your teeth are actually closed, even though your lips are open, but your teeth are compact. You can see 10, tell, or T. So your lips are not opening wide. Your mouth is not opening wide, right? Like D, dog, doctor, all of those consonants are where your mouth is having closure fully or partially. Let's see pure vowels, right? Like sheep. So you can see the E sound. The reap, deep, then I, ship. Okay. So these are all pure vowels and consonants. You can go through these pages here of this book. On page number 6 and 7, consonants and pure vowels are there. There is also the full introduction of consonants and vowels. I'll just read it out. There are two main types of sounds in a speech of human language: consonants and vowels that we did. When the flow of air moving from the lungs to be exhaled from the oral cavity is obstructed during articulation, the sound produced is a consonant. So it comes from your lungs. B. It is coming from your lungs. It's not just your mouth. B. It's not like that. It's B. So it's coming from your lungs, and from your oral cavity it is coming out. The vocal tract gets constructed. So it's actually pulled like that. For example, English sounds such as P, you can see it's coming from your lungs. B, K, all from your lungs. Now let's see what's vowels. When the sound, everyone knows there are 5 vowels and what are the vowels, but we'll see what they are in definition. When the sound is articulated without the obstruction of any air passage, means there is no cutting down from the air passage when it comes from the lungs, it's directly like A, you are not cutting down like B, like that. It's going A, E, I, O, U, and they're all opening wide mouths. E as well. You don't say it as E, you say it as E. You open your mouth and say it. So, for example, the English sounds as A, E, I, O, U. Vowels are the most resonant sounds. That is, they re-echo the most. They actually echo, right? What's an echo? The sound vibrates in your mouth. It moves on. So when you say B, your sound is not vibrating, but you say A, it keeps on vibrating inside. You can do it with me and say it. E, I, O, and U. So it's actually vibrating. Okay, so here we are done with consonants and pure vowels. We will be moving after this in the next video, perhaps, as we have already done this first. Okay. Inspiration. What is inspiration? And all this will be done in the upcoming video. Till now, you all know what all we've done: consonant, vowels, how your mouth and articulation of your mouth moves while doing vowels and consonants. Then we will be learning ahead places of articulation, manners of articulation. That means from which organs we are going to speak and how are we going to speak, and also why phonetics and phonology is important for studying. So it is really important if you're learning any language thoroughly. I hope you all have understood the concepts that I have tried to clear myself here. If you all have understood, please give it a like, and also watch my previous videos wherein I've done introduction of semester 3, the topics and everything. Thank you so much everyone. Do take a very good care of yourself as the virus is not yet gone.